Well, let's look at the politics of Delta State proper, especially that of the People's Democratic Party. Do you think this diversity, this richness is being enhanced by politics? A look at the previous election, I believe a lot of lessons has been learned. In our previous conversation, you did emphasize, to quote your exact words, you did state that the People's Democratic Party need not rest on false comfort.
Security, that we have to continue to work. We have to continue our assessment, correct?
Exactly.
Yes.
For a layman like me, how would you situate that in context? And what exactly do you think the party needs to do to move its fortunes forward?
Okay, for laymen like us, let me add myself to you as a layman. It's my perception. I may be wrong. As you know, no one man knows it all. But I felt coming from the primaries to the main election, as a party for us, we need to do a proper reconciliation within ourselves. Democracy must start from your home. And PDP being the ruling party in our state, there is need for us to sit back, check on our members that have been aggrieved, either before the primaries, during the primaries, or during the elections, and bring them home. Of course, some of them went to court and saw the end of the court processes. But you cannot throw anybody outside for one reason or the other. There may be ways that the party may have wronged you. You don't burn your house because you're angry. So I think it is time for us to now set up proper reconciliatory bodies. Kudos to the chairman PDP Delta North, Honorable Moses Idu. I saw somewhere over the internet that he has already commenced such reconciliatory processes. And once you reconcile your house, a house united is a stronger house. So I think, drawing from the last election, there's need for us to sit as a family, check and see where we went wrong during the emergence of delegates, where we went wrong during the emergence of candidates, and where candidates who emerged as candidates thought that their emergence was already victory and there was no need to work hard. It is proper when you finish getting your ticket as a candidate, the next thing to do is to go around all those people who contested with you, appeal to them, win them in, buy them into your system. That was what I meant by saying, doing a SWOT analysis and taking necessary measures for laymen like us. There could be more, but I just want to stop there for now. Yes.
All right. Well, we can no longer deny the impression that it's about time. Most of your folks we've interacted with are optimistic of the possibility of new leadership in the party since Congress is inevitable. Your name seems to be ringing bell and on their lips. I want to ask, should the leadership of the party get trust on your shoulders? What direction do you think the People's Democratic Party Delta State should be advancing towards in the light of the events of the time?
Okay, my name has been ringing bells. I've been looking for the bells. I've not seen any bell yet, but in terms of leadership and my name, they are synonymous. I thought they were just Chinese whispers, but there are certain things when they come beyond whispers, you start saying, okay, what do I do? Sit down and seek the face of God, pray about it, and like I told you before, it would be an honor if my party asked me to come and serve in any capacity, be it chairman or otherwise. But if given the opportunity to serve, I'll be very glad. And having taken my time to sit down, pray about it, speak to friends, people have been pushing me to say, come on, do this, you have the charisma, you have the capacity, you have what it takes to do it. And I've checked myself. I also believe I do. At this time, we require persons with the tendency to unite us more rather than divide us. And I feel I have that potential of uniting us more, making us stronger, and putting our best foot forward. Having worked as Delta South chairman, having worked as ad hoc state disciplinary committee chairman, having worked as secretary to the fact findings to disciplinary committee in the 2019 election, also having worked as the immediate past chairman of the party in media and publicity, also haven't been taken as a train-the-trainer program for the elections, a member of the election planning committee, and so many other things. I think it is time for us to bring such an experience to bear. And I believe I am accessible. For people who want to see me, I pick all calls, I reply all text messages. Those are the kind of things I think will require for somebody to be our party leadership. Having said that, you should also be a fluent communicator, somebody who can convince the enemy to join them. When I use the word enemy, I use it politely, but I think I can get better if it comes to communication. What you also can for somebody who wants to lead us, again, by my perception, ability to be detribalized, a bridge builder, and you should have the prerequisites to understand the various traditions in the state. You should be able to understand. I don't mean speak them. I have been blessed with the capacity to speak them all. But it's even better if you speak and understand them. So that call from my people to say, okay, Ima, come and lead us. I believe I will have the support of my people. And if given the opportunity, I'll do my best to lead them to land safe on Zion's side.
Tracing political leadership antecedents in Delta State. But for the sake of time, let's narrow that down to the immediate past governor of Delta State, Dr. Ato Ifeanyi, and the current governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori. These are leaders you've worked with, these are leaders you know too, where you understand their signs and dispositions. What in their leadership experience do you think you've picked that will be instructive and of a guide to you?
Well, having worked with my Oga, Senator Dr. Ato Ifeanyi, the Ekweme himself, I picked up a lot of listening skills from him. He's a great listener. Somebody who will listen and put all the indices together before saying whatever he wants to say. I learned from him. And I also know that he's somebody who likes to carry everybody along. He does not feel like you're too inferior, not important. That I've learned from Ekweme. Then I can also tell you that the present governor that is there now, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Oborowori, who is also my Oga and friend, the Kodokwe himself, he has all those qualities that I've just mentioned of Senator Dr. Ato Ifeanyi, plus, let's get it on. He looks at it objectively and responds spontaneously. So, which means he has actually picked up those skills from our overall boss, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi, which is processing and responding. The difference between the two is one will process at his own pace, being a medical doctor, and the other one, as a legislator, processes and discharge like that. He does not wear his emotions on his sleeves. If anything, he will say it the way it is. So I think where you don't wear your emotions on your sleeves, you are diligent in what you do, you are articulate in collating informations, your interpersonal skills are of global standard, and you are there for the people, accessible, available. I'm sure that with those qualities put together, your management expertise will definitely reach out to the doorsteps of our party faithfuls.
From our discussion so far, you've been able to establish and even emphasize your deep knowledge and grasp of the politics and culture of Delta South and Delta Central. Delta North, I would like to know how much of insight, how much understanding, how much you grasp the politics and culture of Delta North. Do you think you understand the people, the culture and politics of Delta North well enough?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I have two lines of approach in terms of my interactions with Delta North. as chairman of the State Ad hoc Disciplinary Committee, immediate past in the party, I interacted with lots of people in Delta North, be it from Ndokwa Nation, from Okwane, from Eka, from the Oshimili or Anyocha. I found out that these are people who like for them to have a level playing field in all that they do. They will grant you their love and respect. You should also do that in return. And then let me take you back to my role as immediate past commissioner for oil and gas. There are disputes that are resolved in places like Umusadige, satisfactorily. Ogbiani, satisfactorily. Okbai, satisfactorily. Beniku, satisfactorily. Igbuku, I'm mentioning them by names now. Umusam, Ogboli, Obudogwa, and just to mention a few. I've discovered that these people from Delta North are people who love the party. So long as you give them the right candidate, you ensure that there was democracy in the emergence of that candidate, they will vote en masse for you. That they have shown in the last election. They're peace-loving people, and in my living with them, I'll give you an example. We lost 2 people from, I'm plugging if you want me to, Midwestern Oil. Lost 2 people who were indigenous of Ndokwa Nation. As an honorable commissioner for oil and gas then, we ensured that the crisis was resolved. There were mass protests all over the Ndokwa Nation. We were able to manage that crisis and ensure that the people who died were given befitting burials, their families, houses built for them, their children given scholarships to tertiary level, then the job opportunities that were lost replaced, and so on and so forth. I physically went there to Kwale to talk with the various stakeholders with the help of our immediate past governor, deputy governor, and the peace advocacy committee led by Professor Yubaire and Dr. Edwin Uzo. It was quite peaceful. So today, I have tremendous respect from Delta North, just as I also have respect for them. Then if you come down to the car speaking side, there was a time I had complaints from the Owa Nation, and it would be so pompous of me to invite a person in the status of the Obi of Owa to my office that I want to have a status inquiry. You must show respect to the Traditional Institute. Yours truly, I went to the palace of the Obi, knelt down before him, took his inquiries, found out what his complaints were, summoned the oil company, and resolved it. That is what we want to see in leadership. Leadership that will be result-oriented, go to the people, seek the root cause of the issues, and address them. That I did in Delta North, same thing I did in Delta South, same thing I did in Delta Central. I found myself sometimes in the palace of the Olu Palace, the palace of Olu of Wari, in resolving crisis as it concerns oil companies and host communities. Believe you me, tremendous support I got from the Olu himself. And that experience for me is priceless. I also got from the Okoro de Afolomu, which is an honorable speaking area, may so rest in peace. It was almost 100 years old or more. As at that time, the man was still reading without glasses, unlike me, who is wearing this now. So that experience is priceless for me. I also went to the palace of the Odonlogbo of Ole to resolve crisis. So it's not a matter of bringing the crisis onto the office. Hands-on approach. That we will implement when we are able to lead us if the opportunity comes. All these experiences put together, we will use them to bring succor to our party faithfuls, to let them have that confidence in our leadership, and continue to win all our future elections.
Delta State is like a micro in a microcosm when you consider Delta State in relation to Nigeria, considering its diversities. For an onlooker, Delta State has its complexities. How will you describe this complexity, this sweetness for people who might not understand the politics of Delta State?
The sweetness of politics in Delta State is more or less consultation. If you're not consulting, if you think you can impose, you meet a brick wall. Take, for example, our seated serving governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborivori, consulted far and wide, went through the 3 senatorial districts, each and every ward, no word was left behind. And when you do that, the people will see that this person is genuine. If you think you can sit in your chair and just make yourself whoever you want to be, Deltans are very enlightened people. They're educated people, highly educated people. They can see through you. And when that is done, they will reject. And there will be all this uproar and protest and all that everywhere. But that we have been able to manage very well so far. The likes of our seated serving chairman of the party, Olorogu Barrister Kingsley Siso, has done very well in terms of consultations, in terms of going around to make sure that everybody is carried along. So, like I said, our immediate or our current and seated serving chairman, Barrister Olorogu Siso, has also done very well in terms of consultations. He wouldn't have succeeded in producing a 2-time governor, plus our current governor, Sheriff Oborivori, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborivori, if he was high-headed. All those ones we have been able to learn from. We will not allow him to go with his experience. We will always consult. We will consult people like Chief Uzo. We will consult people like Dr. Sedebe. We will consult people like James Manager. We will consult people like Esiso in our decision making, because people like Logidi, all those people who have tested the chairmanship position in our party before in our state, their experiences cannot go to waste. We will continue to consult them and take from the experience, start from the experience that they've had before to better our future decisions. So the sweetness of politics in Delta State is actually sweet as you have described it, and it's definitely going to be sweeter as time goes on.
Immeasurable thanks to you, Prince Imman Amgbaduba, immediate past Commissioner for Oil and Gas, Delta State, for giving us your time.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.